It's getting harder and harder to come up with new superlatives each day for how scared global investors, businesses and markets are about the impacts of Trump's tariffs. The London Stock Exchange just behind me might look relatively peaceful from outside, but inside it's the worst day of trading since the COVID lockdown was announced in March 2020. When the FTSE 100 opened this morning, it plummeted 6.1%. For context, that's an even deeper fall than on Friday, when losses surpassed 5% in the afternoon. And around Europe, the picture is even worse. Germany's DAX index has plunged nearly 10%. That is double the losses it saw on Friday. And in response to all of this market turmoil, Goldman Sachs has uprated the chances of a US recession up from 35% all the way up to 45% because of what it describes as tightening financial conditions. And Bill Ackman, who is a hedge fund manager, billionaire investor, and was a high-profile backer of Trump's 2024 bid for the White House, warned over the weekend that he risks plunging the world into an economic nuclear winter. He said that the US is in the process of destroying confidence in our country as a trading partner, a place to do business, and as a market to invest capital. And today, the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer announced a new industrial strategy to boost British manufacturing, like auto manufacturing in particular, to build more EVs, essentially to compensate for this 25% flat import tariff on US imports of automotives. So the big question is now, when US markets open today, can Trump really justify continuing with this policy? It's clear that the depth and the breadth of the market reaction will be even more severe than anyone in the Trump White House could have really predicted, and that even some in his inner circle are getting nervous now. For a president who swept to power with promises of economic prosperity, robust economic growth, and a real reaction away from the Biden years of inflation, of economic stagnation, can he really afford to make such a high-stakes gamble with the US economy? And it's worth remembering that just after his so-called Liberation Day last Wednesday, Trump had said that this was a kind of economic medicine that he was using to treat a so-called patient. He said that the operation is over, the patient has survived. But as US markets open later on today, the big question will be, has the patient survived? And really, how is the patient doing? For everything you need to know about this story as the updates come in and as US markets open, head over to cityam.com.